news, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on the Cindy Cochran Show. We're so happy to have you, and we're especially happy to have Chris Wootton, the Wootton Financial Group, as a sponsor, because we know how important sponsors are, and we love you, Chris. You're wonderful. Yes, we do. Don't ever go away. We need you. Okay, so anyway, today we talked about who was coming on was Gary Parker. Now, Gary Parker, if you've lived anywhere within a 10-mile radius of this, Quantum Productions is, was on your lips about something. So it's so funny. I have worked for the competition, not knowing that I was working for the competition, and I was always really nice to Gary. I knew Gary back from we both worked at Channel 13, and so that history, and we can talk about people maybe that we know and do stories and stuff like that. But we weren't there at the very same time, were we? Mm-hmm. Yeah. He came after. He's younger, a lot younger than I am.
I think I'm older.
No, you're not. How old are you?
70.
70? Tell him.
You're old.
I'm going to be 70.
Thanks, Richard.
I'm going to be 76 in November, so you can't.
Really?
So
Well,
I may
fine.
babysat you or something. Anyway, so Gary Parker is here, and then we have Woods. I know. See, I got your last name, didn't I?
Justin.
Justin. I almost said Justin, and I thought, but if I was wrong, he'd go, here we go, because I'm so bad with names. Justin. That's a great name. Justin is also works on the movie that we talked to you about, Reunion. Reunion is Gary's baby. And so you've gotten through the burping stage of the edits, right? And so you're ready to let go of it. And now you're going to let go of the movie. And are y'all finished editing? Huh? You are a true director. You are a true tech. Y'all are. That's great. Producer. Are you been on his back about hurry up?
No, I don't need to. He does.
Yeah. let me bring you up to speed. Okay.
Oh, that would be so fabulous.
Justin and I are co-producers on this feature film called Reunion. Justin's also producing a documentary.
At the same time?
At the same time, yeah. And so we're going to actually premiere the documentary next month. He's got some incredible interviews and some that just kind of came in at the last minute. So we're just going to premiere the feature film this Saturday, which is about a 70-minute feature film, a story of a guy who kills two of his fellow classmates in a car wreck. And this is the reunion 20 years later. And so Justin and I produced that together. We directed that together. And I'm editing it at the moment, and he hadn't even seen it yet. And I haven't seen it from beginning to end. I'm still editing. But I promised Justin, because I couldn't have done any of this without him. He's been so good, such a great co-partner in this, that it will be done. He will get to see it before Saturday, so he can go, yikes, what about that hole in the middle at 10 minutes and 40 seconds?
That's going to be like broadcast news, running down the...
Yeah, pretty much. But, honestly, and I know Justin would agree with this, you could, and Richard too, you could edit on something for the rest of your life and
Of
never
course
be
you
done.
could.
You know?
It's like fixing up your house. There's always something else you could do. I'm going to go back to Home Goods and look again, just one more time. That's all.
Yeah.
I've told them, listen, when I come in here, I want you to see where this basket maybe has a few things in it, and then you come up to me and say, okay, Miss Cochran, you've bought just about enough. You have to leave now. Because it's just like at the bar, when they say, okay, you've had enough to drink now, no more. That's what, because I love those places. That's so much fun to be in. And so you can never have enough stuff on your house. Just like in editing, you can never have, if I got one more shot, let me see if I can get everybody out to the place. Now, see, that's what's bad about a movie, though. It's just too much trouble to try and go back and let me reshoot shots and put them in, right?
I'm gonna confess something right here to your listeners. There was one shot. We shot this in an incredible amount of time. We did it basically in 2 days and should have had 5. This was
2 days.
Yeah, this was so much a labor of love at every level, from his children who were the production assistants all the way up to the actors we had. It's just been incredible. There was one scene that was a little out of focus and did not catch it when we were shooting it. I didn't catch it. Justin didn't catch it. DP didn't catch it. And it was a touch out of focus. I ran it through AI this morning, and no one's ever going to know which scene it was.
You ran it through AI? Now, how do you run it through AI? What is that? I thought it was just something on the computer you could call up and they could write your
No, there
test for you.
is video enhancing tools in a
That's what they're
particular
doing.
AI software, and it worked really well. I'm so pleased with it.
And this is the first time you've used it?
No, I've used it for different things. This is the first time I used it to try to make something look like it was in focus. So it was great to see that happen. So
That it was
now
in
everybody's
focus.
going to be sitting and watching the whole thing going, is that it? Is that it? That looks kind of out of focus. Is that it? But there's so many tools at our disposal now
Yeah. Oh, brother.
that really do make what we do pretty exciting. But to go back to the beginning, I think Mike Valdez and I were here about 6 months ago.
right.
When we were talking about Shattered Lives, a program. Well, Justin was one of the original photographers, shooters that I had going back 25 years when we first started doing the Shattered Lives program in all the high schools. And so he's been with the program practically as long as I have. And if I couldn't produce one of the videos, he would produce one. If we had 2 on the same day, he would produce them. So he's been part of it the whole time. And so when we were trying to do that series a couple of years back, and the investor fell through that, and Justin and I were talking, and Bruce May at the time didn't want to do a feature film, and Justin goes, well, I'll help you. And so we said, yeah, let's just do a feature film around Shattered Lives. And we'd raise some money.
Now it's okay.
Yeah, now it's all coming back to you. Yeah,
This
this
makes
was all part of the whole 25-year story.
Goodness.
My life in 25 years. And so another friend of mine, Susan Branton, who's also in this film and was the assistant director, came up with the idea of reunion. She goes, because I said, I only got, at the time we only had $10,000, and it's very limited what we can do with this. She goes, well, make it about a reunion 20 years later. That way you don't have to do the rec and blah, blah, blah. And I actually thought that was a really great idea. Thank you, Susan, if you're listening. And so I promised her that day, I said, well, I'm going to sit down and write a script. It'll be done in 2 weeks. And she's like, yeah, sure. Because I'd never really written a screenplay before. I've written stories, a lot of film stories, but I'd never done the dialogue and all that. And so I made a first draft of it, and Justin picked it up and made it a really good script. Very proud of it once he came in and added, and I couldn't tell you at this point which word's his and which word's mine, but I think it worked really well.
Yeah.
So,
Well, he had. Is that from your experience that you did with the Shattered Lives thing?
I guess.
Did
I
you-
mean, as far as the writing, it was just like it was definitely his story, and it was just a matter of just adding more things to it.
Fleshing it
Yeah,
out.
yeah, just fleshing the story out, adding some characters, taking away some characters, and just rounding it out mostly. But yeah, not a lot of. I mean, our experience in Shattered Lives is mostly just events. You know, there's not a lot of dialogue with what we did. Sometimes we did, but the movie making stuff. Me and Gary have worked on other people's movies, and that's like I said. For the last couple of years, we've worked on a lot of people's movies. We're always like, either he'd be the DP, I was the DIT, or did something else. We always said we wanted to do our own, or at least he wanted to do his own. It's like, yeah. So this was just a chance in order to do that, to be able to do our own movie that wasn't someone else's movie any way we wanted to do it. And so, yeah, the story was really good, and it just wanted to do more, and so I just kept adding stuff to it. It was, I mean... Yeah, and then by the time we were done, we didn't even realize it was going to be feature length, I think, until we were done filming.
Yeah, we thought we were writing a short.
Yeah.
You're going to have a short. Yeah, right. Well, it's interesting because the poster and the picture in the poster, I was telling you that it was really so cool, and it was so scary. I mean, you know, thriller, action, that's what it spoke to me, is what it looked like. And so, but you said, well, at a reunion, there's so much drama at reunions anyway. And so when you told me, as soon as you said that he had killed two of the students in that class, and 20 years later, there's the reunion, and how people are going to react and what they're going to remember and what they're going to, you know, if they even talk to him or not. So I think that's really compelling. So that's good. Don't tell me, don't spoiler alert it.
Yeah, I don't know how much you want to say about the movie itself, but yeah, I guess there are paralleling stories that go into it. That so not all the people are together on this reunion, but it's at the same time, and then they're like, so you have the guy who killed him, and what he's saying at 20 years later. Then you have the other people too, and then what they're going through, and some people, you know. Some people have gone through it and are fine. Some people haven't, and what you do 20 years later. And I guess that really sparked the documentary that I started working on, too, is that the fact that, you know, these events, drunk driving or distracted driving events, don't stop at just the event. It continues on.
Right.
For, you know, forever. Like 20 years later, this is still, sometimes it's still haunting people. And can they get over that? And what will it take to even do that?
So she figured out a way where you wouldn't have to do the crash. You wouldn't have to do that part of it, or
Basically, yeah, we relied on some of our stock footage from 25 years.
Oh yeah.
To take care of that part of the story.
Because you're always doing high school kids, and also when you do that part of the story, and them crying and the parents and all that. That's awesome. So you integrated that into the movie.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's
so cool.
It basically begins with an interview of the guy who caused the accident in prison.
I was going to say he's in prison.
He's in prison still,
Okay.
yeah. And so the story begins with that interview, and then it goes through the actual reunion, and the closest friends of the kids that were killed meet up at the reunion. And
Aren't you glad it wasn't a true story you were having to reenact?
yeah, very much so. In my high school, Lamar High School, in the 70s, we had a guy who accidentally ran over somebody at school.
At school?
Yeah.
Ay,
And it was very devastating.
Oh,
It was
man.
for him, and obviously for the family that lost his child and stuff. And that's played in my mind my whole life, all the way back to then. And so when I got involved with Mike Valdez and we started doing these Shattered Lives thing, I knew then that this was something important, something that that might actually save somebody's life someday, some young person. I mean, I always hoped it would have an effect on my children too, never to drink and drive, call me, I'll be happy to come pick you up from a party.
Yeah. I'm not going to say anything to you. You won't be judged.
Not at all.
I'll beat you about a week later. and I'll be
They're,
fine.
yeah, this generation's smarter than my generation was because we just drive drunk. They use Uber and they house at a place and I'll stay there and everything. And so we've come a long ways, but still there's more distraction in driving and there's more of us driving. And so there's more accidents now than ever.
Right. That's good. Because, you know, have you ever been, as a teenager, have you ever been at a movie where it was racing, the cars are racing, you know, a lot of it's made up with people chasing each other and all that. So when you get out in the parking lot of the movie theater, you peel out and go, you know, you become that person and all. So what you're looking for is the reaction, like, I think I'm gonna slow it down to 65. I don't want to end up like those kids.
Yeah.
I think that's very cool. You can get that all out of your system now, and feel like you've done a good job. That's now. So have you brought in any people like to do a focus group on what you've done?
As far as the movie itself?
Yes.
No, he's not even done with it.
No.
When I get it edited, maybe.
Like, have you got like the beginning done, and so you have them come in and do any kind of have people come
That's
in?
going to probably be the premiere, I guess.
Yeah, they'll start the premiere. I mean, actors will let you know.
Yeah.
You know what they think of it. You know, hopefully they'll all be proud of what I'm proud of what every one of them did, and I think they contributed very much to it.
Yeah, for sure. And that, I mean, it, like what you're saying, I know it wasn't exactly a true story, but unfortunately there are a lot that are just like this. And we found out about more even after this that was very similar to what we were writing, and we didn't write it about them or about that. And that was, I mean, we wanted to make a good movie on its own, but we wanted it to have a message that somebody could take and hopefully think about, you know.
The consequences 20 years, you know, you still feel the consequences of it.
Right.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I couldn't see you talking behind the
because
microphone.
of the microphone.
Before I forget,
Yes.
to tell you how close to home this is, Justin and I had a reading. We brought in all the actors, invited all the actors to come and just read through the script. It's a great way for Justin and I to hear the words we've created and see if it plays, if it's real, if it works, and all that.
Oh, good.
And it gives everybody a chance to meet everybody else and kind of go through the script.
Did you shoot that?
Yeah.
But this was before we filmed it. We did shoot the reading though.
Good.
Yeah. This was weeks before we actually came together to do the movie. And in the course of this, one of my dear friends from church who has a part in the movie and has helped us all along the way, his son was involved in an accident. And 3 other people actually in the movie knew the person that on the other side of that accident and so forth. I mean, 4 people who are actually in the movie as actors were related to this particular accident that happened here in Conroe.
So in the reading, did it evoke the emotion you wanted?
They didn't know each other.
Yeah,
Most of them. They
never
didn't
met.
know that this person was, related to who had caused the accident, and so it was just them talking about it. But they all had like very deep emotions about what they were going through.
Yeah.
And there are other situations too for the people too.
Yeah.
So when they start the read, can they get through some of the lines because of they're too real?
This was kind of at the end.
Yeah.
The connections were summed up and stuff. But now, what's going to be, I think, the most emotional of all this is when his documentary comes out, because of I've helped him along the way with a couple of the interviews, and these are people whose family were killed by a drunk driver or by someone, and how they've had to deal with that and live with that and so forth. And for some people, it stays very on your mind for the rest of your life, obviously.
Sure.
and some find a way to deal with it, and many find a way to help others. It's probably their best coping mechanism. But
Right.
the documentary is going to be way more powerful than I think the feature film, to be honest, because it's real people talking about real life and real accidents and real things that happen.
That's so interesting. It's like a follow-up. And after they've seen the movie and then see this is really happening, this is what happens,
Right.
and how it affects people. That's interesting. Now, you're going to do a premiere with it? How long is the documentary?
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I'm hoping no more than like 60 to 75 minutes.
Okay.
So I'm hoping, but because I'm still waiting on a few interviews to go through, because some of them are in prison that we're working on trying to interview right now.
Have you had trouble getting into the prison?
I did at first, but I've worked with the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, and so now they've given me the okay to do that, and then it's just a matter of getting the inmates, make sure the inmate wants to do it, and then scheduling a time, which they require 2 weeks for everyone that we want to do. So it's just more time waiting.
Wow.
And I didn't realize this when I was doing it. Part of that time is they actually contact the victims to let them know that the interview is going to happen. And
can the victims say, I don't want him?
As far as I can understand, no. They can't say no unless there's some legal precedent for it, which I'm not trying to glorify the people there. I'm trying to illustrate like what they went through, why they did it, what they could help somebody else not do this kind of situation. But I guess from my understanding, because actually one of the victims brother called me, because I didn't know him, so they gave him my phone number. They called me and let me know that they were contacted, because I contacted the prison, and just so they're not blindsided if the interview were to come out.
Right. Right.
That's their own.
So it's just a notification that they have to have.
Mm-hmm.
But what's so odd is that so many people that have done murders and done this and that they live with it. They have to live with it, and in prison they become like a different person a lot of times, and that's what so that they can try and get paroled out, and you never know whether it's true or not. When the people that you that you talk to, could you feel?
Well, so far we haven't gone into the prison yet.
But
one of the ones we were actually he declined the interview, and then when the victim's brother called me, we kind of found out why, and it's exactly what you said. We were told by someone who was doing prison ministry in there a story about this person, but apparently it wasn't exactly true. Now, one way or another, this person's probably not going to leave prison. He actually is being paroled this year, and then once he's paroled, he serves his next term of 20 years.
What is the break before you start your next 20 years, I wonder?
I don't think.
Is there
I think
any?
it just goes into it. I think
they
it's
don't
just a
come
clerical
back.
thing, as far as I can tell. He's already 68.
Oh, my word.
But like we were told, he was this and the other, and the person who told us didn't know either. They worked in a prison ministry, and like you said, sometimes those people will tell you whatever you'd like, and so that's why he probably declined the interview, because we would have had to ask him certain things, and it wasn't going to come to being true or exactly what we were looking for, as far as, because our whole goal was, we thought that he was remorseful for what he had done. He's already been in there for 19 years. And apparently that's not the case. But there's a couple other people who are different, and we've heard from the prison chaplain and about this other person. So we're hoping that we'll go that route instead.
Yeah.
So yeah, they will. But everyone else that we've interviewed, and I have interviewed somebody who has gone to prison 4 times. He's out now. He didn't kill anybody, luckily, but he's went to prison 4 times for DWI. Just his story and what he's trying to do now. He is trying to help people now, but it took him a very long time to get there. And
Well,
that's, yeah.
There's nothing like the word needless whenever anybody talks about, like when someone's been murdered, or all the crimes that have been committed, and the needless part of it is that if they hadn't been drinking, they probably would have got home without having this wreck or ruining
Exactly.
somebody's life.
Yeah.
And it's that's got to be so hard for the families, because if that kid just hadn't done that, we would never hit my kid, and so it just is such a horrible way to think of it. But that's why if you could get to them fast enough, soon enough, is that to get through watching a TV or watching a film, and you watch it and it convicts you, and you go like, I am never going to drink again. I wouldn't, I don't ever want to kill anybody, and because I'm drunk, I don't know what I'm doing, and if they've been that so spaced out because of the drugs, because of they've got such access to so many things.
Oh, I know.
That's a lot more than.
And that's what we
cigarettes.
wanted to go from both routes, like the movie illustrating a whole scene of things, and being able to see it and being able to understand different aspects of a drunk driving accident, like the one that causes a death. And that's the movie is really about that. Everyone has a different aspect on how to feel about that and how long that feeling can go. And sometimes just being angry or being remorseful isn't so easy, and then the documentary itself is going through people and real stories and trying to make sure that people are thinking, and it's like nowadays, like Gary was saying, we have a lot of things, like you were saying, that like they can get into, but ride shares and just staying put is, it's not, we're not saying that you don't drink or you don't do this, but there's so many better ways to deal with things. Or like just with cell phones, like it can wait, just
Right.
put it down. It can wait, till you're somewhere else, and just trying to impress upon that to the point that even if you have an accident, it's not just going to end right there. It's
Right.
going to be forever, or could be for sure.
And being drugged through court, being drugged through in front
Oh,
of
yeah.
the people and their family of the people that
That some of
It's
those
like
stories,
not-
it's just hard to listen to. I mean, even parts of the movie that we wrote, even though we wrote them, it was just, the point is that they were hard to try to deal with, and you want to see that. And then in the documentary, it's hard to do the documentary because you're listening to these stories, these people tell you these very emotional, very real things that they had to
Right.
go through.
and they never
Yeah.
get. I mean, that's what, if you've had someone, die and they died really young, that's really hard, because every year, you have to think about what they didn't get to see, what they didn't,
Exactly.
and that they'll never see their children married or
Right.
have that. That's really a selfish thing, but it's what you have to go through every time. So it's every year at the anniversary of it, and all that. So that's so hard. But if you make it hard enough to where somebody won't do it that day, you've saved lives, and you just don't know how many
And that's
people.
what that Valdez has always said. That's what we've always said with this: if we could just save one person with doing the Shattered Lives program and doing this movie and documentary, just get one person to think about it instead of doing it, whether it's in the real stories or whether it's in us portraying an illustration that they can see, and just not want to do it.
If you ever gone a ride along with policemen and they talk about how how hard it is to stop these kids, and you're they're racing down the road and they have to pull them over, and that they're drunk, but they're so mad, they're so angry that you pull them over and all that.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I will never be, because the policeman that stopped me, I was speeding on to get someplace, and he pulled me over as a trooper, of course, and he pulled me over, and he came up to that window and he goes, I want to tell you something, young lady. Well, I liked him for that, but he said, I want to tell you something, young lady. My family drives on the street that you were just, speeding down. And if you'd have hit them or done anything to them, I would come after you. So It's like I just am sinking further and further down in this seat. And I said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, because I'll always remember that. I'll always remember that's why I need to slow down. It's for your family, because I don't hurt your family.
Yeah.
I don't hurt anybody. And he's saying, I don't care. You just better go out of here and limp along this road, get home, because, I'll be out here watching for you. And I said, I'm glad. I was being everything. And I think it almost like made him, piling, heaps of coal on their heads. And because the nicer you were, he was just wanting to, it made him so mad. And when he starts talking about his family, he's getting even madder, and he wanted me to know the names of the kids and who they are and all that. It was great. So before he leaves us, I just want to tell you, that's the most impactful type of stop you could make. That was wonderful. I hate for you to have to expend that much energy on each one you stop, but
That's what it
that
takes.
makes a difference. You did great.
Yeah.
I wish I could have recorded that. He said, okay, all right, here's your ticket, just sign here and go away. And but it was just, I thought, kids need to be, instead of angry, they need to be thankful that they get to go home, and that
Right.
they're able to go home that night and not have to be killed in a wreck, or kill somebody, that those policemen just saved your life. So I love that what y'all are doing. I think it's so wonderful. And how are you now advertising, marketing? What is your marketing strategy?
That's a good question.
Lone Star Radio.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you.
Lone Star Radio is our first. Cindy Cochran show is our first look. This has been a different kind of project than anything else I've done, in that I wasn't worried about what happened with it beyond us getting it done, to be honest. I figured everything else will run its course the way it's supposed to. I really felt like it was very much a God-blessed project from the very beginning.
You don't need to worry about anything else.
And
That's good.
and I felt like Justin and I were honestly trying to plant some seeds for his kingdom.
That's
Something that
perfect.
to not only make people make better decisions, but just think about what a blessing this is. How incredible it is to have a life in the first place, then to have a good life and a healthy life and be surrounded by people that love you and everything.
Right.
And so that was sort of the underlying tone of our project. And so we really went into it going, let's make the best story we can. Let's do the best documentary we can to help people just stop in their tracks for a second and think
Right.
about how lucky they are. And
Well-
so the marketing really, we haven't worried about that. We will, especially if everybody on Saturday night says, hey, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
We can start worrying about it. But
Can you
Yeah.
show it in our church? Can you show it in our church?
And we've thought about that, and I think that would. I know the churches I work for wanted to do that as well, and I work for Woodlands Online, and we talked about putting it up there and having some place to view it on Gary's platform as well. So there's different places we thought about it, but it wasn't like a main concern. We just wanted to make the movie and then try to make a
difference.
something impact. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with TikTok, because that's where a lot of your audience you might want to,
See, I don't tick or talk. So that's
know.
going to have to be something this young fella here beside me does.
Get my
Because
kids to do it, I guess.
yeah, she's still got youngsters at home that can do it.
I know.
Yeah, they'll know how to do it for sure. You're right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it is the social media is just people have fought it. I'm not going to be part of that. I'm not going to be. The Chinese people are getting
They're getting my bank account out of TikTok.
they're getting all the information from us, and they're stealing the information, and you hope they steal this movie and show it over there. That would be
Yeah.
so. But this
That
is
could be our motto.
yeah. Please steal this movie.
That's not
Please,
bad.
please copy this movie.
Please copy it and show it to everybody you can. Yeah.
You don't have to worry about your rights of this movie.
That's right.
But I think that you've got now. Do you have music in it?
Yes.
Who did the music?
Kelly Hensley and Christian, what's Christian's last name? Dang it. I knew she was going to stump me with a question. I'll get it for you.
Okay.
They're a local aunt and nephew band that are really good. And they wrote a song that ended up in the film. And then there's some other songs in there, but that's kind of the main song that they play at the reunion
Right.
for their class.
So that ties it all together.
It ties it together, yes.
McGuire.
Okay, yeah. I want to
Christian McGuire.
definitely do a shout out to them. They're great people.
No, it was really good. They did, and they came in and set the whole thing up. It was really cool.
That's wonderful. And they came recorded in your studio?
No, they have their own music studios.
Oh, they do? Oh,
Yeah.
so they just sent over.
Big shout out, big
Okay.
shout out to Chris Sadler and Maddie at Honor Cafe.
Yes.
They Justin's working on a
What-
documentary he can share with Chris, but they offered up Honor Cafe as where the reunion took place. And on top of that, then they provide all the catering for us.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And so big shout out to Chris and Maddie
Chris
over
actually
there.
is acting in the movie too. So.
And it was really good.
Yeah, he did really good.
Isn't it funny? Because when I'm doing church videos and things like that, I'd need people. And so I thought, I'm not going to use anybody but the church people because the church has so many programs. They have acting, so many people acting so many things. And they're all a bunch of hams, so it's perfect. And they'll do anything you say. They know you're not going to have them do anything bad, but it's just they like doing that. And when they show it at church that Sunday, the video, everybody pays attention because it's people that they know, and so it's better than ordering a video from California to. That's what our worship leader would always say, Cindy. No, it'll take me 15 minutes and I'll have a video here and you have to go shoot and it takes you forever. Yeah. So anyway, but after they play it, then he realizes, I guess that's the best way to go because they really do pay attention to it.
Right.
And the preacher said, I don't care, keep doing it because they come up and thank me. So it's great. So I think I do it.
Very
I had
cool.
something to do with it. So, but it enhances the sermon. So that kind of thing. And it makes, it really does make you think about everything that they're saying and makes it better for me, makes me better because I'm having to research stuff and go like, well, could they have said this? Maybe they meant this really. No, Cindy, you don't have to interpret it that way. Just do what it says.
Right.
But I think that's great. The church is giving y'all free reign to do, like come in and do the premiere, and then are they going to show it in any other way?
The church has been very supportive all along, and when we actually did a fundraiser for the series about a year ago, we did a concert to raise money for the series. We did that to church, and so the church has been really supportive. But you brought up an idea that Justin and I have talked about, and we'd love to see happen. Is it for other churches to show it?
Right, do a church tour, and it would be. And there's got to be somebody out there that you call and they have the numbers and the contacts and stuff like that and say, oh, that'll be easy. They're always looking, especially teen stuff. Yeah. They have Wednesday night teen, class. We can play them. And the movie is going to be like an hour and a half for 2 hours.
It's 72 minutes.
An hour and 12.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, an hour, 60 minutes.
It's just long enough to be a feature film and too long to be a short.
There you go.
And I'm not sure on the exact time yet because I haven't done the end credits yet.
You can either slow them down or speed them up.
I want to put it in the end credits. Everybody that donated to the film.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have their pictures or just
their names?
Their
I think,
names.
right
on
now.
it.
Yeah, just their names. But,
okay.
But I watched that on the end of The Chosen, and they put everybody that donated, and the credits for the people who donated went on for 15 minutes. I mean, it's incredible how many people supported that series, and with a good reason. You know, it's a great series.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to do that too because, you know, it's funny, when I worked at Channel 13 back in the day, we would put the credits. We ran credits every night.
Mm-hmm.
Then we only ran credits on Friday night, and then they decided to just run the credits of the EP and the producer, and I'm like, that's so unfair. You know,
or they take them and they speed them across. You know,
Yeah.
the credits go so fast. You're like, if I did all that work in the movie, and that's how fast my name went by.
Yeah.
When all my family's sitting there going,
Yeah.
he's coming, and my name's coming.
Yeah. I mean, they do that
it's
now on television. At the end of the movies, they just speed through it and promote something else. You know, for the people, in our particular case, everybody worked on this because they believed in it. You know, they donated. They got some small pay for the day, but they basically donated most of their time and so forth. I mean, this was really a labor of love, and we had, I could count them up, but we had almost 100 people that worked on this,
Yeah.
and everybody did it because they believed in the project.
Yeah.
You know, they believed in what they were doing, and so to deny them a credit would be criminal, in my opinion.
Oh, I
You know?
so agree. I
mean,
agree.
The movies I've worked on and I've seen on the big screen, you know, I sit there and then my name comes up and I go, that's me. That's a cool feeling.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in this business, I mean, sometimes that's about all you get out of it. You
Do
know,
you know who Michael Ritchie is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So he came in and did a movie, and he needed an interpreter. So he had me come out. Somebody called me and said they're doing a movie and they're shooting it at TSU, and they want you to come out. They need an interpreter, and I went, oh, okay, cool. That's so cool. So I went out there, and I talked to them. They told me, here's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be signing what this kid's saying. He's in the back, and he's saying, it's kind of like, unless you saw the whole movie, it was a crazy movie. And in fact, I found out Michael Ritchie wasn't even going to put his name on it. He had a assist direct that he's going to say as the director because he didn't know how it was going to come out. So he had him do it. And so so anyway, I got my hair done, got a new outfit. I was just all ready, and I go over there, and they say, okay, Cindy, we need you on the set. So I come out there, and they have this big black felt, and they said, okay, put your arms through these slits in the felt. And I said, what? And then they take it and lay it over my head, and so all they're seeing is my hands. So he said, this is the line. He says, is there anything you can do with this line to make it funny or, you know, whatever? And I said, well, people won't understand most of what I'm signing anyway, but I could get confused. My hands, you know, maybe my fingers get, you know, like I can't, because he's saying a real long word. And so I said, I could do that. And he said, oh, okay, do that. I said, okay, great. Now, I will get credit on this, right? And he goes, well, you're not talking. And I went, I'm not talking. I'm signing and I'm talking. You mean you only give credit? You only give credit to the one speaking? He said, well, speaking parts, yeah, we get. And I said, wow, someday they'll come back and sue you for this. But no, they'll say you should have given her credit. She was talking. She was talking to in another language. And so anyway, I think I met him in the hallway, and we were talking about it, and I was just kidding with him because it was fine. Because since it was just my hands anyway, I could have said, hi, everybody, this is Cindy Cochran, and I'm signing the thing. They don't know what I'm saying anyway, so I'm going to tell you whatever I want to tell you. So, but I didn't. I tried to stay up with the script. But it was it was the only time I'd ever had in a movie, and I was so excited, and I brought everybody, and they went, that was your hands? How will we know that was your hands? Is your name going to come up on there? Nope, they're not going to give me. So you could just made this whole thing up, right? I said, I guess so.
Completely.
So I agree about credits are everything.
Yeah,
You're
credits
right.
are important.
Yes. So if you want to tell people that they want to come see this, now that we've got, we have sparked their interest, now we got to tell them, where is Fellowship?
Fellowship at Montgomery is on 149, just about 2 miles south of the intersection of 105 and 149 in downtown Montgomery.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you just turn left there, go down 149, we're just past the school, go past the concrete place, we're right there on the right. It's a big campus and good signage, so it's not hard to find.
And it starts at what time?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock on the 28th.
Yes,
Which is
Saturday night.
Saturday night?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you stay for church after. Next day. Okay, so if no, you have to have tickets before we go, or are you going to buy tickets or what?
You can buy tickets online at the website, which is thereunionmovie.com. Thereunionmovie.com. You can buy tickets there. The people who have already donated, your tickets are included, so all you have to do is come in and find a seat. But if you'd like to make a donation for tickets, we'd appreciate that.
That's
to
awesome.
keep things
And
going.
tickets are also donations, so you'll get a donation letter.
Yeah.
They're just donating through the Broadcasting Texas. That's
So it's a
courtesy.
write-off if you
Yeah.
donate the money.
It's a write-off, yes, absolutely.
See, tomorrow we have a CPA on. She's going to talk. She's my sister, and she's been doing taxes for 60 years. She's going to talk about write-offs and all this talk about tax. We're going to end the taxes with tips. We're going to end the taxes with, I love Trump with all this litany of what he's going to end taxes on. And she's going to talk about it's not as easy as it sounds to have happen, is to get your overtime tax-free and all that. So I hope y'all are keeping up how much time you spent overtime. Okay. Okay.
It's all written down.
Yeah.
There you go. And you have all the equipment that you buy and all the stuff that you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got that down, right? And you keep
for
receipts.
the movies, yeah, everything is.
Have you kept your receipts?
After 50 years, I've kind of figured this out.
You what?
I said I've been doing this for 50 years, so I kind of figured it out by now.
Okay,
Yeah.
make the the host feel stupid. Go ahead, just
Oh,
go ahead.
well, I wasn't trying to make you feel stupid. I was just showing you how old I was. I've been doing this for 50 years, and so I have receipts for my receipts.
Are you a good receipt? Because I never could.
Yeah,
do
I
it.
keep
just couldn't do
everything.
it.
Lori finally just throws it all away. But yeah, Justin's good about taking care of keeping his
From the tax man.
501c3
Yeah.
healthy.
Yeah, that's what we are. Yes. So if you donate here or for the movie, please donate for the movie. Y'all need to go see it. And now that you know, are y'all going to get up and talk before the movie starts, or have you thought about that? You got to get it edited first. First things first, Cindy.
Priority one on my list today: finish editing the movie. After I get that done, then I can, I'm sure we'll thank people for coming out or something. I don't want to make a
big deal.
deal of it now.
Well, it's a big deal. It is a big deal. You got to feature film that you're going to show.
It is a great accomplishment, I think. I thank Justin from the bottom of my heart for all he did to make it happen, because I couldn't have done it without all his help. I didn't even realize how much help he was. That I didn't realize how much help I needed until he was there to help me with so many things. Yeah, he made it work. He really did, and so I'm eternally thankful to him for that. He was a great partner in this project.
You were-
He was
you
a
were great. That's
godsend,
why
wasn't he? Yeah, you were.
You're the reason why we did it. Well, most people that donate their time, they're doing it because of the cause, but they're doing it for Gary too, because they know
Everybody loves Gary.
exactly.
Everybody loves Gary. Hey, we could do a. No, okay, we won't do that. But everybody does. He's so easy to work with. He's so easy and laid back about. Okay, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Okay, let's see if we can do something else then.
Yeah.
And, he's not, because in working with him and going over and doing stuff over the studio, I remember it was so much fun because I loved y'all's studio, and when Mark and I would come over there and do anything, it was so fun. So he's given good memories to a lot of people,
Oh,
and
yeah, totally.
and you have such a good temperament, as opposed to some people. I know.
I think that was
Did you see that?
unfair look in your direction there, Richard.
This didn't mean peace. This meant 2 more minutes. Like,
Oh, okay. Yeah. 2 more minutes and you're out of here permanently.
no, he has been great for somebody to put up with me, and never. He tried to keep me so structured, and I couldn't do it. So he just said, "Okay, do what you got to do," and then and he talks with me on a lot of he interjects.
Yeah.
He takes over. It becomes the Richard
Yeah.
Schischler show, doesn't it?
He's been the perfect guy for this assignment, I think.
I think so.
I think Richard's done really well with the radio station, everything he's done. I'm very proud to say I've known him since he took it over, and it's been wonderful. It's been great for the city. It's been great for the people.
Yeah, he had being in the city hall is pretty prestigious. You know, you're right here, and people say, "Well, how do I get there?" You just go in the city. You go to the Conroe Tower, and they says, "There's a tower in Conroe, huh?"
Yeah.
And so you go in and take a right in the foyer, and you're there.
Yeah.
But no, he has done a lot of stuff, and he's tried like everything, and so now he's doing this, and I know what this means. Okay. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Justin, so much for coming. I know it's going to be a big success because you got God on your side. It's going to be wonderful. And the other people I got to thank are the first responders. We always thank the first responders at the end of the show. We love you. We honor you. We respect you so much because you're running to it while we're going the other way. And so you're there to help us keep us safe, and we love you for it. Listen, tomorrow my sister's going to be on. We're going to talk about taxes and how you're going to not be taxed, or maybe you will. I don't know. You have to watch. You have to listen and see what it takes to do what Trump wants to do, and Kamala wants to do. Okay, so I gave everybody okay, Richard. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Every week, people ask the same 2 questions. Are they ready to retire? Will their savings last for their lifetimes? Hi, this is Chris Wootton with Wootton Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. We help answer these 2 questions and many more that people have about their uncertain financial future. We have a simple introductory client experience that allows us to get to know the client and includes a few meetings for the client to kick the tires at no charge. We provide a concise, 1-page summary that helps the client get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for them. To learn more about Wootton Financial Group's process in helping their clients to a clearer financial future and to see their contact information, visit Cindy Cochran's show page on irlonestar.com/TCCS. Wootton Financial Group is a proud sponsor of the Cindy Cochran Show. Wootton Financial Group is available by phone at 936-449-5952 or visit them on the web at www.woottonfinancial.com. That's www.woottonfinancial.com.
This program is sponsored by the Wootton Financial Group. It is not the intent of Wootton Financial Group to render or offer personalized investment advice or financial planning advice through this radio program or any related website. Wootton Financial Group's participation in this program is limited to providing general information on financial matters and should not be construed as financial recommendation or investment advice. Investment advisory services are offered through Game Plan Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and the state of Texas. Insurance services are offered through Wootton Financial Group, Inc. Game Plan Advisors and Wootton Financial Group, Inc. are affiliated through common ownership, and neither firm is affiliated with The Cindy Cochran Show. No listener should assume that any information presented and or made available on this program serves as the receipt of or a substitute for personalized individual advice from Game Plan Advisors, Wootton Financial Group, or any of their representatives.
Want to check out the fastest growing sport in the world?